Hey folks, welcome back. Tonight we're playing Myth the Wind Age. And we have a new player who just joined. He's Mog Magnag the Barbarian, played by Tarragon. So Tarragon, you want to go introduce your character, and then we'll go around and have everybody introduce their characters, and then we can talk about your bonds with the other players.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Hi, I'm Tarragon, and I'm playing Mog Magnag, the Ogre Barbarian. Um, he's got mighty thews, which I believe is just muscular, wild eyes. He's bejeweled and wears silks.
Nice.
How smart is the character?
Mhm.
Got 8 intelligence, so but he's wise.
Hey.
13 wisdom. So there you go.
You can hang out with Jack. He's got 8 intelligence and 13 wisdom.
Oh wow, there you go.
Oh.
There's a bond.
All right. So Mog Magnag, we should mention, is an ogre. You guys haven't encountered an ogre in the game yet, I don't
We
think.
have not.
We've seen big guys though.
The things that are druid turn into count as ogres.
Listen, no, I have not turned into an ogre yet. I have turned into a Teostra and an anaconda. Back it up.
Whatever the hell those are.
All right. So Mog Magnag.
Anaconda? Please tell me you're joking.
Oh, that's what I have already. Never mind.
So the vast majority of the ogre, your people, Mog Magnag, which I'm gonna say Mog for sure because Mog Magnag is long, if that's cool with you.
Oh, good.
Okay, so Mog, your people are from the northeastern steppes, and they are enslaved by the Trow. So my question for you, for one experience point, because that's your outsider move, how did you escape, and why did you end up west of the Cloudspine Mountains?
I'm thinking Mog. His parents, his ogre parents, when he was a kid, kind of tried to escape with him. They died or disappeared or something like that, and they managed to get him out from wherever the Trow were, and he was wandering, in the northeast, and I think he was found by maybe a forest giant.
Okay, so forest giants are in the south. So how did he get down to the south?
I think he's. Are there like other barbarian tribes between that northeast and the south?
So that's a good question. A lot of the territory was until recently controlled by a race of beastmen called the Myrkridia, which serve the Fallen Lords. There are also Gower that roam the plains, which tend to be more in the neighborhood of Trow and Ogre territory. And those are also servants of the Fallen Lords, although they're sort of more natural creatures. But there are bands of let's see, the dwarves live underground for the most part, so I'm going to say most of the roving bands that you find would be humans, and they tend not to be so much barbarians as like they're survivors, subsisting on banditry. There's a gang that's kind of in that region if you cross south of the Gower River, called the Vintners, and there's another gang from Gower called the help me out, Jack. I forget what your gang is called.
Well, I don't really know if we named the gang so much, but it was just the people.
Okay, yeah. So it's Jack's gang, the Edgar the Skunk and his people from Ursgrad. Yeah. So there's kind of an underworld out in this sort of deserty plain environment, where people kind of find little hidey holes in various different places to try to escape the notice of the monsters. And they have these little bands where they survive, and they kind of secretively trade amongst themselves. And sometimes they'll sneak into the major cities to either steal something or to trade with people that are there, with the black market.
Okay, well, I'm thinking that yes, his ogre parents kind of tried to escape with him. He managed to get out. Don't know what happened to his ogre parents. Disappeared or died or something during that escape. He was wandering around that area and kind of taken in as a kid by some sort of band of barbarians or barbarian-like peoples, and I guess made his way to because I think the party's at the Forest Hut, right? Yeah.
So the party's at the Ermine, which is all the way over here.
Oh, sorry.
Getting
Yeah.
hurt.
So the Forest Hut. So the party started out in the capital city, which is in the center of the board here, and then they most recently traveled down to Forest Heart, and then they traveled from Forest Heart, and now they're heading across the mountains to the Ermine. So they're actually right here right now.
Okay, so pretty much just kind of ran into them, I guess.
Okay, so let's talk about your bond. Let's go around the introduce the rest of the party, and we'll talk about what bonds you've formed with these guys, because you know some or all of them from previous adventures. We'll start with Jack.
Jack is a punk. He's basically kind of like rides the edge of the law. He does seem to be looking towards a more defending the weak rather than taking advantage of it at this point in his life. He had a sudden change when he went to the Keep of Fire or Wizard's Keep or something like that, and touched the stone, which inhabited. He didn't previously have a spirit, but he got one when he touched this magical stone of fire. At that point, he had already had a little bit of a spark in it, and it became a roaring beast. And so in battle, he just leaps into it, and nothing seems to stop him.
All right, let's go to
Is that what the kids are calling drugs now?
I was just going to say including logic. And
8 intelligence means logic is not very important to Jack.
Ugh.
All right, Veranza, you're next.
My character's name is Veranza, and they are a druid from. Oh, I'm not on the main screen anymore. We're getting our butts kicked. Okay.
Let me put you guys
that-
back on the map. I'm sorry. I've been pinging on the map the whole
it's
time, like
fine.
talking about where you're at, and nobody could see where you
Yeah,
were.
I'm like, I don't know where I am.
Okay, you guys see the map now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Yes, so
I did my training throughout Forest Heart and through up and down the mountain passes as I continued my life as a druid. Currently, I am continuing my journey to understand the world better and understanding how to work with people that do not like to listen to me. And that has been a very tough thing because they go against logic. And as a druid, I am very logical. And I'm learning to understand how to move with this group. And it has become very apparent that regardless of what I do, they're going to probably do the opposite. So,
I'll have you know, my first thing is to run away.
We know your first thing is to run away, and the other thing is I have great joy that my when I transform, it breaks the crap out of Ichabod, and it makes him fear me even more every time that I transform into something. So I consistently try to transform into something to give him a heart attack. The last time I did that was I turned into an eagle, like it is in the Lord of the Rings series, and I picked him up and carried him to a mountaintop.
You have a tendency to always carry me when you turn into an animal.
I do, but I think the freak out has been like, oh crap, I'm here now. I don't have any like huge backstory or anything like that. It was just the will of the winds that told me that I had to follow this group. And I am following this group to my great demise. And I am wondering if the winds are trying to teach me something.
All right, so real quick, can you see the map now? Because I didn't have you guys
Yes.
on the map before. This is a Mog. Can you see the map?
Yep.
Okay, so just real quick, because I was talking about the map a whole bunch and I didn't have the map up. So the northeast up here, this is Trow territory on the north side of the river, basically. This over here is Yursgrad, which is the sort of outlying town that's loosely connected to the human empire. Down here is like Dwarven territory, down in the mountains. This is the capital city that I was talking about that's under siege right now. This is where the party's at, where the red marker is here, passing through the cloud spine. And then Forest Heart is down here, and the Ermine is over there. Any questions about that?
Sweet. No, that's fine, thanks.
Okay, and then let's do, last but not least, Ichabod.
He's a fighter that can't use any weapons, and he's a professional screw-up.
Okay, so yeah, so that's the party. So now, Tarragon, on your sheet on the right side on the first page or the main section, you should have options for bonds. If you're looking at the play kit, they'll be on the first page of the play kit PDF. So you're going to want to form bonds with some or all of the characters that we have here based on the suggestions that are there. You don't have to use all the bonds. It's up to you how many or how few bonds you want to have. So what bonds do you have with these characters?
Okay, well, I've got 4 bonds listed here. And I'll just read them off to start with. The first one is Bond 1 is puny and foolish but amusing to me. Bond 2's ways are strange and confusing. Bond 3 is always getting into trouble. I must protect them from themselves. And Bond 4 shares my hunger for glory. The earth will tremble at our passing. Do I pick them, or does somebody?
So it's a collaboration. So you suggest things, and then, or they can suggest things, and you guys have to agree on the bond.
Glory.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Jack wants the glory.
Sweet. Let me change that. So Jack shares my hunger for glory. The earth will tremble at our passing.
And
There
the
are meat
sky,
shields.
and the waters.
And the snow caps.
Uh-huh.
And the quicksand.
There's a vortex of fire and lightning around me whenever I go into battle. Just don't be next to me.
Don't be next to him. If you're going to ask the druid to be fireproof, it's fine.
Or just be lower than what he can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so what about the other bonds? And also the rest of you folks think about having a bond with Mog if you want, because the bonds are asymmetrical. Your bond with them is not necessarily the same as their bond with you. It's more about how your character perceives that person.
I think, like, I saw he had said one that I kind of want to steal, but I think it's going to be very similar to each other. So it's like they think that they're small and they need to be protected. But so he could think that of me because technically I'm tiny. But I think the same thing of him, that he doesn't have a lot of intelligence, so I have to protect him.
Interesting. Mog, do you agree with those bonds?
Yeah, that sounds fine. So that's Varanza, right?
Correct.
Varanza is puny and foolish, but amusing to me.
Yes. And then mine is need to keep away from Jack. Not allow to get into trouble.
Sounds good.
Don't listen to her.
Don't. That's apparently the thing, is don't listen to me. And then everything goes wrong, and then they blame me anyways.
Right. And would you and Ichabod like to have bonds with each other? And Jack, are you going to have a bond with Tarragon as well?
I'm just gonna go and look some up in books for a second because mine are like been destroyed. And then half of the people I had bonds with are gone. So
That's my issue.
Yeah, like I have Odo, Rat, Zane.
I've got 2 bonds left. One is Bond 2's ways are strange and confusing, or Bond 3 is always getting into trouble. I must protect them from themselves.
It's worth noting we also have another player who's not here this session who is our fire mage, so you may want to consider that when deciding which bond goes to who.
I think the scared and afraid is 1000% Ichabod.
He only runs from things that might kill him.
Yes.
from what I understand, small mice and rodents might not run from them. So when Jack goes charging into the battle, usually Ichabod's like going the other way.
Yeah.
That's how you know there's danger afoot.
He is afoot.
All right, so Ichabod and Mog, are you guys having bonds with each other?
So is always getting into trouble, I must protect them from themselves?
Sounds like what they're suggesting. Ichabod, you good with that?
I don't know how that works on my end for that, considering I don't get into trouble. Everybody else does.
Lies and slander, sir.
I'm usually the one with a shield in front of everybody.
Can we change bonds?
Yeah, you can just change them up.
Yeah, you can just use something else if you want. Yes, you can.
I usually tell Ichabod to like follow me, and he just goes no, and then I pick him up and make him go.
And there's always a goofy scream associated with it.
Yeah, so you could make up a new one if you don't like either of the 2 suggestions for him, or you can just leave it for now, and we can add one later at the end of the session once you've guys have gotten to know each other a little better.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, fair warning: I have well-documented terrible rolls.
That is true. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we got our bonds set up. Very good.
We're getting to mark XP for those terrible rolls.
Yeah, that's true.
You can be like 7th or 8th level by now with your rolls.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the rest of the group, and then I'll weave you in, Tarragon, when it makes sense for you to come in, which will not be too long here. So the party is exiting 7 Gate. With the remainder of Balal the Watcher's army still at your backs, you travel well into the night before making camp. Standing atop the last of the 7 gates, which are the big stone formations in the pass, you can look back towards the eastern horizon and see Thrall still standing silently below you. They're far behind your party now, well out of bowshot or spell range. You see the tiny, faint purple dot of a Solus in the distance as it slowly ascends the slope of Mount Tharsis, which is the volcano to the north of you guys, pausing high up on the summit. It lingers there until you pass down below the last ridge and descend into the foothills of the cloud spine beyond its view. Who is our quartermaster? Was it Drum that was doing that before?
I believe so.
Okay, so...
Oh no, wasn't Dram Scout?
Okay, who's being our quartermaster? Who's keeping track of all the rations?
That's Dram.
That was Dram.
Okay.
I Scout. That's what it was.
Okay, so I'll make a note for next time to have him mark off the rations. So you guys spend another 3 days crossing the cloud spine. I forgot to mention earlier our NPCs that should have been with the party, and I kind of forgot about them in the last session. The dwarves decided to stay in Forest Heart for the time being. When you left, they were debating whether to make the journey east to Myrgard. Fadeleem, however, who is the human warrior of the Legion that you guys rescued from death in the vicinity of Silver Creek, has decided to travel with your party. So you guys get out of the sight. You guys travel as long as you can, basically into the night. You find a place to make camp. Everyone's cleared space for their bedrolls, and the party's sitting down to eat. Fadeleem steps up to the group, and he tosses down his pack of rations beside the campfire, and he says, "I want to fight too." And he's gonna pool his rations with you guys, and fight with you guys. So we'll have Quartermaster mark that as well next time. As you guys eat and get settled in for the night, you all hear a strange resonant humming sound. One of your packs is glowing brightly from within. Which one of you guys is carrying the glass orb that you picked up from the Solus outside of Lankerfan before you guys went into the underground tunnel?
I think it's either Jack or Dram. They were one of the ones that picked
It
up.
might be Dram. I didn't mark it down, but I might have.
Okay, we'll say you guys find it in Dram's pack. A pattern of glowing runes has appeared on the surface of the orb. They are travel runes and air runes, either of which you guys can read. What do you do?
I show Veranza my children's book and see if it helps.
And I'm going to spout lore.
Okay, go for it.
O is for orb.
And it's a wisdom. Let's see how well I do. I usually do really bad at this.
Very good. GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation. Okay, so you guys have determined from studying these things that there is that these are used for communication between the various undead armies. So this glowing, set of symbols represents one of the fallen lords contacting his armies. And you can listen and
we could hear it. Like, we actually were able to hear when they dropped it, but then it cut off.
Right.
I remember that from the story.
This is the second one we've gotten.
Yes, you're right. You guys do have two of them. You got one from the Myrkridia as well when you fought the pack mages.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. What is it? You know how to activate this Veranza because you've studied the previous one for some time. What does it require to activate? Keep in mind that the undead have to be able to do it.
The undead have to be able to do it. It's
only undead can activate it. Okay, which one of us is dead?
You pretend to be dead a lot.
Well, the pack mage also did it, who is not undead.
Well, I'll just use my old charm and do it.
I mean, you could turn the undead. Oh, wait, sorry. I would say it is just like a simple, like a simple word command, but it's not something that's used in regular language, everyday language. So, something like pineapple raccoon or something. But like two words together that
Okay, so I'm gonna say that it is it is a phrase that all of the orbs share, so you know it from studying the other one. And it is it is the word activate, but it is spoken in the language of a lost civilization whose cities are supposedly drowned in the deep up on the north side of the map here.
I drowned them. Wait, not me. Okay, so activate, but it will let me find a really good way to say activate.
I think your kiss is the name of the kingdom. I'll spell that. Hold
on. I would like to use the word cuvee. Cuivie. Cuvee.
That is too complicated for my dyslexia.
It's basically an elvish word for awaken.
Okay, cool. All right, so you say cuvee, and the orb activates. You hear a rasping, sibilant voice emanating from the orb. It says, "My liege, the Devil Slayer assailed your armies at 7 gates and felled Lord Thorago. 3 columns of thrall remain. along with one of the fetch, 2 of my brethren, and several whites. We have failed you, father, please. I beg your forgiveness. You hear a deep voice that you don't recognize. What is your name? Reloven, my liege. Reloven, take command. Keep the army guarding the pass. The Hearthtaker will deal with them. Guard the pass. Yes, my liege. Thank you, my liege. What do you guys do?
Unactivate.
Okay, you switch the orb off.
I wanted to-
Three-way call. That's all, right?
What's that?
It was a three-way call. We're
Yeah,
fine.
you guys listened to it. Very good. Okay, a little over a day later, you guys exit the pass. From the western slopes of the cloud spine, you're treated to an incredible view. So you guys are coming out of the mountains here, looking down over the lands below. On the far distant horizon, you watch a thunderstorm roll in from the western ocean, rumbling as lightning flickers over the surf. A stiff wind ripples the grass across the coastal plains, whispers through the emerald black canopy of the Ermine, and howls up through the mountains behind you. The whole landscape below you seems to move with the storm winds in long, continuous waves. To your left is the Ire River, which winds away southwest, that's this river here, towards the chalk cliffs. As the party looks for a campsite along the northern riverbank, you notice a smattering of squarish brick buildings of dark volcanic stone. Their corners are rounded with age. The windows are all dark. Mosses and weeds climb up through their mortar joints. One of the larger structures near you on the east side is a scorched, broken ruin. The damage is old enough that mud has accumulated over the years, and weeds have grown back over the damage. You see a few crows hanging around the ruin. Okay, so we're gonna cut at this point to Tarragon. Tarragon, you have just recently made your way across the cloud spine. The pass that you're at the western mouth of right now was guarded by undead. So you scoped out the pass before. I'm going to say if you agree, and decided to head south to Bagrada, which is this kind of treacherous ice field with shifting, cracks and platforms, and you navigated this treacherous environment using pure athleticism, basically, and a little bit of luck, and then headed north because you're headed for the Ermine. You followed the western edge of the mountains, and so you got to this place which is called Silvermines, and set up camp. Just after fording the river, you basically, after you swam across, it's pretty cold out, so you had to stop and start a fire. And you're holed up in this ruined structure that's covered with mud and weeds on the outside, and you kind of just taking shelter from the wind there. And you hear this kind of low guttural growl as night draws on, as you're sitting there by the fire trying to get warm. What do you do?
Mog will he'll get up. He's got his axe, and he's going to try and just like hear where it's coming from, like what direction, how close it is. That growl.
Okay, so that sounds like a
Discern realities.
discern realities. Thank you. Yeah, so you can do the discern realities move. If you have it already in your Roll20 sheet, just click on that. If not, then just roll plus wisdom. Ooh, okay. So you
okay.
so you get up and okay. So I forgot to mention this before. Every time you roll a 6 or less, don't forget to mark an experience point on your character sheet. That's important because we learn from our mistakes as characters. So you get up and you go looking for this source of the sound, and something strikes you in the flank. Like you're peering out through this crack in the walls of this messed up building. You're kind of like looking off to your right where the sound came from. And this wave of shocking icy cold washes over you from the left. Go ahead and roll me a Defy Danger con if you want to try to shake off the cold.
Yep, will do.
Well, he's possessed. All hope is lost.
Sorry, that was Defy Danger, right?
Defy Danger, yep, with your con.
Easiest thing to do is just press con rather than trying to adjust it, each time you do it.
Okay. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Okay, so let me go ahead and deal the creature's damage here. Okay, so how much armor do you have?
I have 0, but I think it's +1 because I took the when I'm naked, when I'm not wearing armor, it's considered a +1 armor or something.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Unfortunately, this attack has piercing. So you're getting hit with this wave of shocking cold, and it's not just like cold air, it's like a blast of icy water hitting you, and in this blast of water there's these razor sharp shards that stick through your body. They cut through your 1 point of armor. And you take 2 points of damage. So mark that on your sheet. And with your Defy Danger con, I'm gonna say, you can either hunker down because you kind of got cover where you're at. You can kind of hunker down and lose sight of the attackers and let them surround you because there's obviously more than one, or you can tough out the blast and get a view at what hit you. What do you want to
do? I think he's going to try and get a view of it. He's not going to hide from it. He's a barbarian.
Okay,
so he's going to try and get a good view of what hit him so that he can mark it for next time.
Okay, so these frozen shards, are basically injecting icy water practically straight into your veins. You gasp involuntarily. Your heart, everything seems to slow around you as your heartbeat goes crazy. You're stunned, confused. You sort of have these involuntary muscle spasms, and you feel like you're struggling to take in air. You're gonna take 6 abilities. You're -1 to all of your rolls until you have a couple minutes to warm up. But you see that this thing that struck you, it's large. It's a little bit bigger than a cart, probably. You see these cerulean eyes staring out at you from like the snowy mist in between the buildings. And as it sort of stirs and rises, it sees that you get struck by this cold breath attack, and it sort of moves tentatively, cautiously closer to you, looking for an angle, hoping you're weakened enough for it to strike. You see that there's another one circling on your right, trying to get behind you, trying to like navigate its way over the building. And at first you think that the building protects you from that. But as you watch it out of the corner of your eye, you see it kind of leap into the air, and it's kind of has this like wolf-like shape, but then it stretches out these bat-like wings, these huge bat-like wings, and sort of just like glide hops on top of the building that you're hiding in. So it's kind of like coming at you from over the roof into the hole in the building, while the other one's coming at you from the opposite side. What do you do?
Oh, wow. I think, look, he's a pretty smart barbarian. Well, he's a wise barbarian, right? He's getting attacked from both. He's injured. I think he's going to try and... Is there like an exit?
Yeah, you can come. I'm going to say that there is a door or a window going out the opposite side of the building. Which is it?
Yeah, he's going to try and kind of like back up. He's been injured. He's got these two things coming at him. I'm not sure if he's seen these before. He's going to try and like kind of like find his way out.
Okay, so part of the deal is your character may or may not have seen things before, whether or not you as a player did. You can do a spout lore move if you want to determine if you've seen them before, which is an intelligence roll.
I'd like to do that.
Buddy. Sorry, I have a kitten that decided to curl up in my lap. I'm happy.
Okay, GM will only tell you something interesting upon you to make it useful. These creatures are known as alpine wolf drakes. They live out here in the mountains around Mount Tharsis and around Bagrata. They are large ambush predators that prey on creatures that migrate through the mountains. Like normally they would go after deer or goats or things like that. Or they would go after griffins that stray too far from the Ermine because there are griffins in the Ermine. Here, they've obviously chosen you as your target because you're quite a big meal, and they like to attack in groups with their combination of camouflage because they're like all white like snow. Their natural weapons, their claws, fangs, and tails. And the breath weapon, which you just got hit by. How do you know all that? How did you learn it?
I think it's from his barbarian clan. We've probably had encounters when we go hunting and stuff like that, so we're familiar with them. In fact, I think Mog's probably swearing at himself that he, somehow stumbled into this ambush. He should have been smarter, or at least he's not as smart as he thinks he is. So yeah, that's how he knows.
All right, so it's your move. What are you gonna do as you guys are closing in on you?
Yeah, he's gonna try and back out. He shouldn't have been here alone. And he knows they travel in packs, right? That's what
yes.
He knows. So
yep. Usually small packs, like around 2 to 5.
Yeah, so he knows he's probably going to be outnumbered. He's a big ogre, but clan, his barbarian clan, they have some sort of experience with these, and it's just natural that he's going to follow what he would normally do in the clan and kind of like back out and try and get to safety, I guess, further from them. So he's going to run.
Okay.
He's going to strategic retreat.
All right. That sounds like maybe Defy Danger Strength or Dex. What do you think?
Probably Dex, since he's going to try and like put speed into it.
Okay, go for it. Don't forget your -1, which we can add on after the roll.
Sorry, yeah. And then -1, so fail.
Ooh, okay. So you stumble through the building. Let me put you on the map so you can kind of see the surrounding terrain here. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you guys all see the board?
Yep.
Okay, and Mog, I'm gonna put you over here.
This totally doesn't look like we're about to die.
Uh-huh.
Y'all gonna die. Oh, I am so sorry, Your Majesty.
Okay, so this one's up here on the roof after you, and the other one is coming around through this gap in the wall here. Do you have a light source?
Aren't we a light source? Oh wait, sorry.
No, I'm not set on fire yet.
So, Mog, this question for you.
Light source.
I don't think so. I just had that fire that was in the middle, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, let me put something down for the fire. Hold on.
Our usual pyromaniac isn't here.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Right.
Forgot about him.
There you go. You got a fire.
Fire.
Okay.
Style, I think, right? Or is it Burning Brand to start one and Zuko to?
Okay. So the rest of the party here, you guys are coming into this town and you're kind of looking around thinking, maybe there's something dangerous here, maybe there's a place to camp, you're not sure. And you hear this, and then you hear this, and then you hear this, like the sounds of heavy running footsteps crunching in the snow. What do you do?
Well, I head towards it.
Of course you do.
Okay.
And I go, why?
I'm going to say you guys are coming from the north. So I'm going to say... Actually, I'll let you guys go ahead and move your pogs. So you're starting over here. The sound is coming from your left, which is this way.
Well, it's really dark and weird and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys can have light sources. Let me give Fadely a light source as well if he doesn't already have one.
I should have a flame on me. I don't know how bright it is, but don't keep it bright.
Fadelium has a torch that he has shielded like usual. So Fadelium's going to go start running. Okay. Does everybody have a light source on their pog that should have one?
I believe
Well,
so.
I have dark vision as an elf.
Okay, yep. Okay, so
I just want to I can see certain things. It's just we're good.
Okay, you have your
So
dark vision
what's
should be on
the-
your character, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you said to the over here. we
This
hear it?
direction, yeah.
Sorry, I have to scroll down. I have to follow Jack because it's just like, sir, that no.
Okay, so Mog, which direction did you try to escape when you fled out of this building here?
It would be, I believe, south, because I think that's the only way I can see.
Okay. Yeah, you can also go. I mean, the way that I have set up the building set up, it's like I have it walled because they don't have the interior of the building on the battle map here, but you can go through the building through a door or something if you want to. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess to the left. So what's that? East? No, west.
Okay, so so you want to go into the building west here, or do you want to go south? This way? Oh, sorry. Okay, so you start running to the south. You're dodging over, kind of trying to flee these things. This thing leaps over from the climbing on the wall here to land on this cart next to you. As it does, it topples the cart, and the cart blocks your path. So this hold on, let me draw. Doesn't want to let me draw.
No.
Our only means of escape has been destroyed. What shall
There
we
you
do?
so this cart spills over on its side in front of you, blocking your path. You turn around. This other one comes up behind you, keeping you from withdrawing back the way that you came. What are you doing?
Well, if there's still a path. Actually, quick question. You mentioned Griffin.
Yep.
Was that their predator?
So they will hunt griffins in packs. Griffins do also hunt them. I would say they're like nemesises, yeah. But this isn't really their territory. They're this sort of like it's kind of thing like this is their territory, and west of here is the griffin's territory. And if a griffin wanders out of its territory, they'll get it, or vice versa.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of trying to like scream like a griffin noise, but I probably don't even know that. Yeah, no, I'm still. If there's still a path to go like to the left, I would still be heading away. I can't see the other party yet, right? So
Right, yeah. So
alone, and I got 2 drakes on me. And
yeah, so your path is cut off. You're gonna have to either you can't just go on running. You're gonna have to either climb over, jump over, do something creative, or fight.
Well, yeah. If my back's to the wall,
Oh.
I'll have to turn around and with axe in hand and roar. Try and fight it.
Okay, do you have a move for the roar?
Well, it would just be like I guess just
Wasn't I wasn't sure if that was a specific barbarian ability or if you just.
No, sorry, no,
Okay.
it's just me.
Yeah, if you want, you could try to intimidate them with a charisma roll, or you can just go ahead and attack.
Yeah, no, actually, I'll try and just roar at them. So
Okay.
charisma roll, yeah.
Go for it. Keep in mind you're at -1 because you're shocked. You've got cold shock. Okay. They are not impressed.
Good news is you got an XP.
One of them, the one behind you, lunges at you and goes for your hamstrings. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and it's going for my hamstrings. I'm gonna try and grab its head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a defy danger, strength or dex.
Or I think I moved that with.
That would be strength because I'm gonna try and crush its head in my.
Okay,
hand.
go for it.
Sorry, Ender just scared the living shit out of me.
Nice.
I'm
Okay.
paying attention.
Okay, you grab it by the head. Go ahead and deal your damage. So your class should have a damage die. So click on the damage die to roll. Okay. Nice. Okay, you deal 4 damage. So its head is covered in these kind of thick bony plates underneath its scales, but you grab it and it kind of cracks a little bit and it screeches, and it thrashes around trying to get at you. And the other one is kind of dancing, trying to like nip at you as you're sort of almost using that thing as a shield. You guys over there, you hear the roar. Vadelim's like, come on, let's go. And he starts charging across the ground. What do you guys do?
I'm literally like chasing after, like I said before, I'm like chasing after him going, will you stop charging? And like trying to get him to stop so that we can. I know it's never going to happen. However, I'm following him and yelling at him.
Okay, yeah. So you run, you yell. Jack, why don't we say that you round the corner? We'll move things forward a little bit here. So Phaelim goes charging in. Jack, you can move again if you want to. Okay, so you round the corner. You see that this old busted up cart that is sort of half buried in a snowdrift, toppled over on its side. There's these huge winged things, fighting the barbarian who you guys recognize as Mog. Has one of them is holding it by the skull and trying to crush its skull. And the other one is gonna lunge at him while he's got his back turned. Jack, what are you doing?
A loud announcement to get their attention.
Oh
so that is,
God.
I'm using who the hell do you think I am? And hey, I'm talking to you. Oh, I get an XP. That sucks. Good thing Mog's not going to be attention span.
Okay. So you come around and you surprise this guy and you say, what exactly did you say to it? Or shout at it?
Hey, you ice bastards. It's me you should be paying attention to, not that.
So it turns around and it roars, and its roar rattles the windows of the building next to you. Give me some kind of defy danger or wisdom or something to avoid being intimidated.
Pretend to be dead. It won't attack you.
Hey, Jack, you're not intimidated. It sort of hunches up defensively on top of the cart, and it draws in a breath, and you can see this cold fog dripping from its jaws as it starts to let out its breath, gets ready to let out its breath weapon. Veranza, you're shapeshifting into what?
Theostra.
Okay. You want to move your pog up?
Yes, give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Where is said pog? Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have like the map goes so I'm over here. Like I'm from here to here, I'm like getting into Teostra. I hear him roar, right? And as he roars, I'm going to use my second hold. I'm going to roar back, but I'm going to allow the for it to show that I have the opposite of what they have, which is they have the icy fog, and I just have flames
Nice. Okay. All right.
coming
So
out.
I'm gonna. Okay. So you're gonna you're transforming, so it's gonna take you a second longer to get over there. Ichabod, what are you doing?
Right.
Against better judgment, I guess, run over there.
Okay.
Against
So
better judgment.
Ichabod, you're running over, and you see the beast rune stirring on one of your fists as it responds to the presence of these creatures like a challenge. Which fist is it on?
It's gonna be the right fist.
Okay, so so the beast spirit is awake and it wants to fight. What are you doing? Bailey comes in. He's kind of like intimidated by this thing, and he's holding up a shield in front of it, and he's trying to like keep it back, making space for Mog. So Mog, you see this warrior of the Legion, which is like the human army that fights the undead, come charging in, and he's sort of like trying to beat this thing back with its shield just to give you some space to fight. And then Ichabod, what do you do as you come in?
Start trying to choke my fist because it seems to react to it.
What you're choking your fist?
Yes.
Okay. What does that do?
I'm so confused.
I'm confused too.
It's a joke for the spirit that I have in my fists now.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. So you're trying to hold back the spirit, I guess, to prevent it from attacking. Was that the idea?
Pretty much.
Okay. So give me some kind of defy danger for that. Probably whiz or int or charisma. I don't know what you would use.
It took me a second.
I rolled good for once.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So you fight back the beast. You can control it. Do you want to direct it, or do you want to just let it die and go in without it?
Like all emotions, it gets pushed down.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you're struggling with that. Veranza, you come in. Go ahead and do your roar.
I guess that would be probably a defend, or
Yeah, you can defend.
Defend, and that'll be wisdom because I am shifted.
Okay. Who or what precisely are you defending?
I am defending Jack by basically like, oh no, you don't like that's mine.
Okay, very good.
Remember, guys, you have a +1 advance and an extra d6 if you do damage.
Right, I'm still roaring to let them know that I am a threat.
Okay, so you're posturing.
11.
Okay, I'm gonna say its breath weapon is gonna catch both of you guys. What are you gonna do in response?
I'm gonna hack and slash. I'm gonna whap him.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the hack and slash.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to create a wall of flames.
Oh, okay. Jack, go ahead and do yours.
I have a 10 with that.
Okay, yeah. So Veranza, you get an XP, and you get hit by the full blast.
No. Okay.
Go ahead and make do your. I'm going to say. Let me just do its damage to you. Hold on.
Did I use my damage to reduce the damage? Because I'm just creating a wall of flame in between us.
Sure. You know what? Why not? Roll your damage.
Oh well, luckily I've got something called roll again. So a total of 6.
Okay, so I'm going to say half of that goes into reducing the damage because that's not like what flame normally does, but kind of makes sense in the circumstance. So you're reducing you're essentially giving her 3 points of armor. This thing has -1 piercing, so it's ignoring 1 point of armor. So both of you guys are going to take 2 damage, ignoring 1 point of armor. How much damage does that do to you guys?
2. Oh, I believe.
1 point armor I got.
I gotta remember what armor
See
I
what this
have.
does again. That's the thing on it. No,
Then it's 1 for me because I have 1 armor. So
Okay.
So I take 2.
Okay. And then, Veranza, did you want to use one of your holds to defend Jack from the defend move?
Yes. So that'll keep me at 1 hold left.
Okay. Oh, actually, I have to make a correction. Sorry. So you, Jack, I think you gave somebody +1 forward with your who the hell, right?
It's everybody +1 forward.
Okay, so Veranza did a hack and slash, so actually you succeeded. So knock off that XP and roll your damage.
So let's roll an extra d6 too.
Okay, you still take the damage from its breath weapon.
Right, that's fine, but here's my damage.
Okay, you deal 4
and then
damage to
another
it.
D6. You said another D6?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so 5 altogether. Oh, excuse me.
All right, so it's wounded pretty good. Are you going after it with? Are you hitting it with your claws? Or are you using your fire breath? Right.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna say that it does an extra point of damage to this thing. Okay, so it rears back at your fire breath. It's obviously intimidated. Jack, you see, out of the corner of your eye as you're stumbling. Oh, and by the way, the cold spray. Both of you rolled well enough that you're not that you're reducing the effect of the cold spray. So I'm going to say you take a -1 to half of your attributes. You decide which 3 attributes are affected until you get to warm up.
Hopefully I can do that.
Right, and Jack, as you're coming in, you see there is actually I'm going to say Ichabod sees because you're a little bit behind. Ichabod, as you move in, you see that there is another set of glowing cerulean eyes peering out of the mist over on your right here. What do you do?
Scream, there's another monster.
Okay. Yeah.
This time it's not Veranza.
Sees the fighting, and backpedals out of view behind this building. What do you do?
Chase after it?
Okay. Go ahead. It sounds like a defy danger strength, probably.
Yes, all the strength of the world.
Okay, you round the corner. You find that it's sitting right there waiting for you. As you come in, it lashes out at you with its tail. It's got this huge, like, long, jagged spike on the tip of its tail that it's stabbing at you with. What do you do?
Dodge out the way.
Okay, roll it.
Would that be defy danger or disdefend?
You can do either. Okay. So you're standing and you're defending yourself. What do you want to do against its attack here?
Well, this is an old town. I'm assuming there's a piece of wood somewhere.
Yeah, you can absolutely find a piece of wood. What are you doing with a piece of wood?
Using it as a makeshift shield.
Okay. So increase your armor by 1 and then reduce it by 1 again as your new shield also gets smashed like the previous one. So go ahead and do you want to have the attack's damage?
Yeah, probably be the best idea.
Okay. Don't forget you have 3 holds, so you can do multiple of those things if you want to. Okay, so the base damage for this attack is 7, so you're going to take 3 damage after having minus your armor.
Wow, I barely got touched.
Okay, and then you can counterattack if you would like to.
I will do that, but I will probably fail.
Okay, signature weapon should be hack and slash.
I didn't fail.
Okay, you pummel it with your bloodstained fist, deal your damage. Do you want to deal extra damage in order to give it another attack?
Sure.
Okay, go for it. Okay, and then roll your other d6 to add to the bonus damage. Nice hit.
Nice.
Okay, you hammer it. Where exactly are you hitting it with your fist?
Might as well try to break the tail that it tried to hit me with.
Okay, so you grab its tail, and what do you do to its tail?
The classic movie thing they do to break people's arms.
Nice. Okay, so you break some of the bones of its tail, and it screeches and thrashes violently. Mog, you're squaring off with this thing now. The one behind you is distracted. This one is coming down on you though, and you've got a hold of its skull, and it lashes out at you with its tail and its claws, trying to get you off of it and also kill you. What do you do?
I think Mog's gonna try and pretty much like bite through its neck, like try and hold the head up,
Nice.
and try and just like rip into its neck.
Okay, sounds like a hack and slash.
With his teeth. Yep. Give me one moment. There you go, and then just the damage.
Okay, yeah. So deal your damage, and then decide if you want to give it an opening in order to deal extra damage. 10 damage. Nice.
Oh, that's max.
Okay, so actually, you go ahead. So you grab it by the head. It starts slashing and clawing at you. You muscle it down, like you up against the wall. I'm gonna say, and you like rip its throat out with your teeth. And it spasms as it starts to die, and bleed out on the ground. You turn around and you see the three of them fighting this other one they've distracted. This one has seen Veranza and Jack and Fadeleem, and it kind of sweeps a wing at Fadeleem and sends him flying up against this group of boxes here, and it just smashes into all these old crates and like gets half buried in a snowdrift, and it comes charging at Veranza. What are you guys doing? This is all three of you.
Nice, it comes after me.
I'm fighting for my life right now.
Sorry, Jack. I didn't hear you.
I am literally, I'm in my defensive position. Like,
Okay. So you're defending Jack as your damage dealer. Go ahead and roll your damage, Jack. And are you using Balmung and or the Burning Brand?
Here's my extra d6. And then I'm not outnumbered, so +1.
Okay, so 5. Are you using Balmung and are you using the Burning Brand? Or neither?
I'm using Balmung, which is, I think he's just normal. I don't think he does extra damage.
Okay, no, he doesn't.
He's just dangerous and forceful. So I knock the thing back.
Nice, okay. Which direction are you knocking it in?
Is this like a wall or something like this, or?
Yeah, it's a fallen log.
All right, is this like a post or something, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm knocking him into that pillar.
Okay, you smash him into the pillar. Is
this thing still alive?
Halfway wraps around the pillar, and it is still alive, but barely. It's
All
kind
right,
of
I will
squirming brokenly on the ground. I'm going to say it's going to slash at you with its claws as you knock it down. Let me roll its damage. Okay, so you take 8 damage minus your armor.
1, so 7, and then I get fighting fire with fire. So I get a d4. So I'll take 3 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So Mog,
and then I go over here.
So that one's already dead.
Oh, I thought you said it was still alive.
Well, it's thrashing the ground, bleeding out.
Oh, okay. Then I don't do anything else.
Okay. So Mog, you having killed the one, you turn around, ready to fight the other, and you see Jack, who you recognize. However, you've never seen him smite something with a bolt of lightning before, as he brings down this like gleaming enchanted sword and slash into this thing. And there's this clap of thunder that's deafening all around as this creature gets blasted. What do you do?
Well, Mog's pretty, shocked at seeing the lightning.
I see what you did there.
And the thunder wave and stuff like that. The Drake is still alive, right?
Yes, it's
And
trying
how
to.
much-
It got knocked over by Jack. It's like struggling to try to get up. It's very wounded.
how much bigger than an ogre is this Drake?
I'm gonna say it's roughly about the same size. Actually, I should make your pog bigger.
Same size. Because I think Mog. I mean, obviously recognizing that everybody's fighting these things with him. He's gonna try and that cart is there, right? Tipped over.
Yeah.
He wants to. So I'm thinking Mog will jump on the cart and then jump onto the Drake, like to stomp it.
Okay, go for it. Sounds like a hack and slash.
Land, like feet first.
Not how I imagine that going.
But you know what?
So
I'm okay with it.
what's the roll?
So it'll be hack and slash if you're making a melee attack.
Again?
Yep. Nice, deal your damage.
Ooh.
Okay, how do you finish it off?
Yeah. So Mog runs in, throws, pulls himself onto the cart and then jumps off and then lands feet first into its like rib cage.
Nice, and you hear the horrible sound of bones snapping as this giant just like leaps over you, Jack, and just piles into this thing, and pulverizes what's left of it, and it bleeds out in the snow. Ichabod, this thing, you've broken its tail, and it's very angry about that, and it wants to try to bite you in the face. What do you do?
It wants to try to bite you in the
Ball
face.
square on my ass.
Okay, that sounds like a Defy Danger Dex, maybe. Nice. Okay, you very nimbly fall back on your ass. What do you do from that point as it like snaps where your head was a few seconds ago?
I guess go for a full kick to the jaw.
Okay, go for it. Nice, deal your damage.
Nice.
Roll 20 must be
You're
broken.
showing
I'm
up.
doing good.
I know. I was just gonna say you're showing off.
And you're all lined up like, I'm gonna brain this thing and I'm gonna knock it unconscious, and you hit it with your using your fists, right? Or no, you're using your foot, I guess.
Yeah, that's my foot.
Okay, I'm gonna you hit it and you kind of like, it feels like you're hitting a rock. Like this thing's bony armor is so hard. And you kind of get a glancing blow, like the angle isn't quite right. You're a little bit off balance. And do you want to deal the extra damage in order to expose yourself to an attack?
I mean, I might as well try.
Go for it. Okay, you put all your weight into it, managing to hit it just hard enough to piss it off slightly. And it's already wounded and pissed off. And it's going to sink its teeth down into your shoulder. And tear a chunk out of your flesh, maybe with 3 damage, ignoring 1 armor.
I needed that shoulder. I only have 2 of those.
Which shoulder did it get you on?
Coin toss said right.
Okay. So the beast is very angry about this, obviously, as it takes a chunk out of you. How much damage did you take after your armor?
Well, it ignored the armor, so I took 3 damage.
Okay. All right, yeah, so it takes a chunk out of your collar and kind of like you feel it crushing your collarbone with its jaws. And do you scream?
Yeah, a very girly scream, but yes.
Okay, so Ichabod screams, and Fade Liam is like, I'm coming. What's that?
Jack says, "Oh my god, my ears!"
Fadelium charges over, and he's like, hold it still, and you struggle for a second. Do you want to try to hold it still?
I'm gonna try, considering it's already in my shoulder.
Okay, sounds like defy danger strength.
I mean, it's already in your shoulder.
Or
so I don't
con.
know.
You use con. Because they're basically toughing it out.
I have max con, so I can't roll low for this.
Nice. Okay, so you hold it. You manage to like grab onto its head, almost like the ogre did, and you're just holding it, immobilizing it long enough for Fadelium to come in with his sword and slash its throat. And it screeches, lets go of you, and starts thrashing around violently in the snow. What do you do?
Stab it in the neck?
I mean, I don't have a sword, so I'm just gonna punch it.
Okay, yeah, you pummel it. It dies. All right. Well done. You guys have killed 3 alpine wolf drakes.
Ichabod only rolls good when nobody else is watching.
Yes. Fadelium's don't worry, I saw you, buddy. And he kind of like punches you on the shoulder that's not damaged. He says, come on, some of those guys are looking the worse for wear. Let's take a look. So, the folks that got hit with the breath weapon and took stat penalties, you guys are like freezing. You're covered with icy water. Basically, your clothes are soaked. Some of the needles from the ice shards that were included with its breath have like pierced through your armor and clothing, so you're bleeding in places. It's not gonna get better until you guys get warm. What do you do?
Well, let's get warm.
You guys look like hell. What
They
happened?
can cuddle up with me because I'm a fire dragon.
All right. Well, I create a burning circle of fire around me.
Okay.
And that produces a lot of heat.
All right. Somebody give me a roll to start a fire.
Well, I got 12 for burning brand.
Okay. That works. Okay, so you create a fire. You guys all sit down and camp and get warm. And you have a minute to talk. And does anybody have any kind of like healing that they want to do?
Tastes good.
Sorry, what was that?
Do those things taste good, Mog?
Mog's still chewing on the piece of neck that he bit out of him, and he's like, no, and then he spits it out into the fire.
Well, maybe you just have to cook it.
But it's ice. Won't that kill it?
It's already dead.
Liam's like, I'll see if I can cook it. He starts butchering it actually with his longsword.
Oh my goodness!
He's gonna take a chunk and throw it on a spit over the fire.
In this helmet.
What was that, sorry?
I said this. I think you look great with this helmet.
So the helmet that he has, it's like, think like Death Knight. It's sort of like it's this really impressive helmet. It's too large for a human head, kind of, but probably a bit small for your head. But you could make it fit probably, and it is very obviously enchanted with these kind of wicked-looking faint blue runes around the edges of it. It's like a huge horned helm that looks like it belonged to one of the fallen lords.
I think Mog's going to be a bit not afraid, but I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it looks like an evil-looking magical helmet, right?
It's pretty wicked looking, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be. You just see him like like hold out his hands, like no, a bit worried about it. Where did you get that from?
Some big undead dude. Oh, we got a sword too.
All right, so you guys can take a long rest. So you gain back half of your max hit points. And then if you have enough XP to level up, which most of you guys probably don't, you can level up. You need your current level plus 7 to level up. With Mog, you would be treated as level 5 for that purpose.
Sweet, thanks.
Okay. So everybody, once you guys have updated your hit points, you camp.
I'm not even close because I just leveled up.
That's fine. Okay. So we're gonna. Do you guys have anything you want to do here in Silvermines? I'm gonna say actually, you guys poke around and you figure out where the Alpine wolf drakes had a nest where they'd like hollowed out one of the buildings and like smashed a bunch of furniture and stuff to make room for themselves and used sort of like the twigs and broken bits of wood to make a little nest for themselves. And in the nest you find I didn't roll this thing as treasure. Hold on.
What was that?
Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna say that there are one of these things has laid eggs in the nest. So you have uh, Alpine wolf drake eggs if you guys want them. I'm gonna say they're worth 400 coin each. There's 3 eggs.
Ooh.
They are. Let me jot some notes down for you in Discord. Hold on.
It sounds like a really good breakfast.
I was gonna say it's either a really good breakfast or we sell one and cook the other 2.
Nobody wants mounts.
I am deathly afraid of everything.
I am a mount. And I think that everybody no.
Yeah.
Dram can fly?
Okay. So you get 3 eggs. They're each worth 400 coins or 2 rations if you decide to eat them. They can be used as alchemical ingredients for cold resistance potions.
I don't think any of us know how to make drugs.
Okay. Well, the druid might.
Yet. Oh wait, I do. I do know how to make drugs. I believe. Let me double check that.
Okay, so there's your loot. Anything else you guys want to do here before we move on to the next leg of your journey?
Can
we loot the corpses?
Oh, that's what I was just giving you the loot from the corpse.
That's what they. Yeah,
okay.
that's.
Yeah, that's the only really.
Congratulations, we did what you said.
You could you could skin them. You can get more rations if you want to eat them. Like Mog said, they don't taste terribly good. Baidlim barbecues a haunch from one of them, and he kind of chews on it for a while, and it's like it's edible, but it's really gamey. I'm gonna say you could get like 5 rations for each one if you're really determined to eat them.
No,
Hell yeah!
I don't.
Chomp.
Fine,
Okay.
I don't eat anything, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, why are you complaining?
Shut up. I'm allowed to
You
complain.
don't even need to eat.
I'm just complaining because it's you.
I'm one with the earth.
Exactly.
I'm more with the earth than she is, considering I'm always on it.
I think you're just because you're eating it. Dirt.
So Faidlim looks over at. Okay, he's still butchering the one, and he looks over at Jack, and he's like, "Can you help me?" And then he looks at Balmung, and he looks over at Ichabod, and he's like, "Can you?" And he sees that Ichabod's only got his fists, and he's like, "Mog, do you know how to skin one of these things?"
Mog
Your name was Mog, right?
Yeah, Jack cheers him on. See, the only problem is when I slash with Balmung, it's all charred.
Yeah,
I can imagine it's like one of those Tesla cutters or whatever from like steampunk or something.
So you and you help Faidlim with cooking, Mog, and Faidlim says, "So what are you?"
We're complicated.
Are you a trow?
Mog gets angry. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Ogre.
I
Oh.
thought it was pronounced Ogier.
Ogre.
Sorry.
It's
I'm
spelled
sorry.
Oghere. I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is. Your guess is as good as mine. I've been pronouncing it Ogre, but yeah. So
Ogre.
yeah, that's the way I've been pronouncing it. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. That's how it's spelled.
I was just being facetious.
Yeah, but
honestly.
anyway. Okay, so he says, I never seen one of your kind. Where do you hail from?
Mog says, sorry, what direction is that Barbarian Plains area from here?
It's east on the other side of the cloud spine.
East. Yeah, basically says that. East over the mountains.
Well, he says, me too, I guess. He offers to shake your hand with his tiny human hand.
Mog offers his pinky.
Okay, he shakes your pinky. All right. So the party continues onward. So you guys fill Mog in about your quests. Mog, are you going to join these guys?
Yep.
Okay, so they're delivering, as I said before, seeds from the forest giants to be planted in the Ermine by the Firbolg, which is like the elves in the setting. Veranza is a Firbolg.
Yeah.
The group spends.
Question, sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
What was the purpose of planting it?
So the forest heart is sort of like the oldest forest at the beginning of the world. But the forest giants were not actually native to the forest. They had a war with the Trow ages and ages ago, even older than the war with the Ogre. And they were driven out of the northern forest, what is now the Dire Marsh. And they saw the destruction of the many unique species of trees and things of that nature. And they decided to spread the seed from the oldest trees to prevent the same thing from happening with Forest Heart. They want to make sure that the line of the forest lives on if Forest Heart should suffer the same fate.
Gotcha.
In other words, they were just being hippies.
Right, yeah, the ancestry of trees is very important to them. Okay, so the party spends, and the druid owed them a favor, so. The party spends 4 days hiking out on the plains.
What do I owe favors?
I was talking about the forest giants. Which is why you guys are headed across the mountains.
Right. We're taking something to plant it.
Yep.
Please
Right.
excuse me.
It's okay. Let me put you guys back on the world map.
Woot.
Okay, so you move north away from the river, and the party spends 4 days hiking out on the plains over rolling hills, through fields of waist-high grasses, ripe with wild grain. You get rained on.
Complaining the whole way.
What is he complaining about specifically?
His feet hurts.
I said, and to taunt him, I will be like, I can turn into something that you could ride.
You try to kill me every time you do that.
I have no idea what you speak of, sir.
Fadelim looks at you, Veranza, and he's like, what's the biggest thing you can turn into?
The biggest that I have tried is Teostra.
I don't know, that horse you turned into where I had to ride on your back was pretty big.
Yeah, but Teostra is a literal dragon.
All right, so you guys are camping out on the plains in these wet, muddy, grassy fields as the storm is rolling over the plains. You guys get rained on a lot intermittently. It's like these heavy, like it pours rain for like a minute or two, and then it sort of clears up again, and then it just comes in waves and waves, on and off, on and off. when you're camping out one night,
basic Florida weather.
yeah, pretty much. It's tropical weather over on the side of the mountains. When you're camping out one night, one of you leaves a gap in the covering of your pack, and something in your pack gets wet. Whose pack is it, and what got wet?
No, my children's book.
Oh no!
You
I
can
can't
read
the
anyway.
crayons anymore.
Oh, that's rough.
You have to dry it off now. Oh, it's gonna take weeks.
The ink's all running.
Inks, that's crayon.
But no, it was a copy that the scholar gave you. The desert
It had
river.
ink on it.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what Skarsgård means.
All right, it's mid-afternoon on the fourth day when you reach the outskirts of the Ermine. It's been a warm, humid day with little wind, and the shade of the strange, thin-leafed trees is a welcome change from hiking in the sun. Path underfoot is surprisingly rocky. Veranza, in order to plant the seeds, you'll need to get the approval of the Firbolg King. I'm going to mutilate a bunch of Gaelic names here, so I apologize. King Ochid. King Ochid is I'm going to spell it.
Okay.
King Ochid, who rules the 5 clans of the Firbolg from the sacred seat at Tara in the heart of the jungle. What signs do the Firbolg use to navigate through the jungle to Tara?
What do they do to track?
Yeah, like how do they find their way in this ever changing maze of living jungle?
Oh, there's a specific animal that travels along the path that goes back to their I want to say encampment, because it's not really like a town or anything. It's like its own little thing. And when they see the signs of that animal, that's how they know how to get there.
Okay, what kind of animal is it?
It's a cross between, like, that really, really big moth that you can breed?
Okay.
And a
I don't actively breed bugs, but I understand it.
I know it's like you see the pictures of them that people like breed them, and they're like huge, they're like the size of your face. And but I want it to kind of look almost fairy-like. So like it's a little more iridescent. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so you're following these iridescent moths. Let's give them some kind of name. Maybe just call them fairy moths.
The fairy moths. Yeah.
Okay, so you're following the trail of these fairy moths, and how often do they like migrate along this path through the forest?
It's a 2-week one way, 2-week back way. So they're doing a 2-week every, like they're going in a direction every 2 weeks.
Okay, so you get in the forest and you guys are stuck there for a while until the next migration begins. Because I'm gonna say you arrive like a few days before the beginning of the inward cycle. So you're camping out in the outskirts of the jungle, near one of their migrating or spawning grounds. And you guys are constructing makeshift shelters because you're going to be there for a couple days. You put together little lean-tos and stuff like that. And as you're sitting out there, just kind of chilling, and what do you guys actually do while you're just hanging out there for a couple days? How do you pass the time?
I'm just shit because Mog is very into nature. Just kind of sharing stories with him.
Nice. Okay. Mog, what kind of stories do you want to hear about from Veranza? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. What did you say?
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying Mog is listening very intently to the stories from Veranza about nature. I guess he would like stories about birds.
So you want to know about all the different types of bird species.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably where he's from, there probably isn't as many birds.
Maybe you guys I'm imagining end up talking about the story of the griffins and how they migrated to the Ermine supposedly from somewhere off across the sea, and how they kind of established themselves in the forest here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're telling the story as you guys are all sitting around a campfire, talking. I'm gonna say it's like, I don't know, mid-afternoon. It's kind of wet and gray and hazy, so it's a little hard to tell exactly what time it is, but it's still light out. Ichabod, one of your sigils starts to stir. Which one is it this time? Is it the beast again, or is it the dragon?
It's the dragon this time.
Okay. So you feel the dragon stirring. It's the reacting to the presence of something drawing near. And the dragon doesn't react to a lot of things. The dragon reacts to other dragons. It reacts to fire creatures. It reacts to other kind of abyssal threats, like things that are not of this mortal realm. So it's not something. It doesn't stir often. What do you do?
Guys, something really bad is about to eat us.
Um.
Well, it's better than eating them. The last ones tasted terrible.
Oh my god. I'm going to ask for details. Like, what do you mean?
Well, it's likely a dragon or something really ugly and has something to do with fire.
But that's me.
It hasn't reacted to you before. Even when you went into your form, it knows friend from foe. As far as Ichabod is concerned.
Nah, I think it's just broken for that part.
Somebody can. What do you guys? So what do you guys like doing? Are you guys just sitting and talking about it, or?
I just want. I guess my question is like, what can we do?
You could get up and look around. You could try to. I don't know. There's a number of things that you could do.
Can I discern realities?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
What is about to happen?
Okay. You see, you look north into the forest, as the dragon spirit kind of turns that way, and you sense something coming through the earth, using your druid, communing with spirits, and it feels familiar to you. It is the rising of the Hollow Earth, which is one of the 5 clans of the Firbolg in the Ermine. They are earth spirits, and it is a creature of the Hollow Earth. And as this thing approaches you, you can see looking out distantly in the trees. You can see Firbolg hidden in the forest ahead of you, and they're slowly kind of creeping up on your position. What do you do?
Because I have the depths of the earth, Let me see if I can get the exact thing with that. Because sorry, I'm just looking for I'm gonna see depths. You learned your magic in a place whose spirits are strong, and the ancients that have marked them as your own. No matter where you go, they live in you and allow you to take their shape. Mine is depths of the earth.
Okay.
So what I have, and so I would have a special connection.
Yeah, so you have a connection to the Earth Spirit for sure. And I'm gonna say, actually, you know its name. What is it called?
Um,
Is the Guardian of the Hollow Earth is what its role is, which I guess could also be its name.
His name was Fred.
Cottontail. No, Peter Cottontail.
If you name an Earth Spirit Peter Cottontail,
No. Earth
or the
Spirit.
Chocolate Bunnies.
I mean,
Come on, it's gotta be a serious, dramatic name.
a serious, gosh, a serious dramatic name. Uh,
My first instinct is Wilson, but that's not
I know,
serious.
like, it's something. It's like I want to say. Oh, can we do? Trying to think. This is what happens when I only have one brain cell.
Yeah, we're just gonna call it the Guardian for now.
For now, let me come up with a name. Yeah.
Okay, so the Guardian approaches you, and you guys can all feel the earth shake as it rises up through the ground, and sort of takes this vaguely humanoid form, and then its features lengthen and it crawls down on all fours, and wings emerge. And you see Teostra, from whom you learned your form, standing before you. And it regards your party warily, although it of course recognizes you. You see beside it there is another Fearbolg who you recognize from your clan, Arindus the Lorian. He is an earth druid who works closely with Teostra. He's one of the elder druids of your clan. He is a thicker bodied than most Fearbolg, perhaps, though not as heavy as some of the humans like Ichabod.
Okay.
He wears this kind of stone mail that he forms using his earth magic that covers his entire body almost, except for his face and hands. You when was the last time you've seen him?
I'm gonna go with 7 years ago, about 6 months prior to this journey.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let me post his name in the chat. Yeah. Okay. So Arindus doesn't look like the last 7 years have not been kind to him. So you recognize his face. You see what used to be this kind of wizened but healthy build. He sort of has a pallor to him now. Like he's aged a little bit. Like he seems like he's seen some stuff. He's got a little bit more gray in his beard than you remember.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
I would say, old friend, it seems as though the times have aged you.
he says, I see that you have grown as well, Druid Veranza. What business brings you here?
And I explain in great detail of the encounter with the tree the tree guardians, and how they assisted us in a battle, and I am now currently tit for tat. You know, they helped us, we helped them.
He says the lands of the 5 clans are forbidden now.
Please explain why.
He says King Ohid has decreed it. You can parlay with him if you want to try to get something out of him.
Okay. Parlay.
Very
Okay.
much parlay with bad words.
I will It's parlay. They ask. It's basically the same thing that happened with the tree spirits. We do something with them. They do something for us.
Ichabod still assumed you're talking crap about them.
Okay, so I guess your leverage in this case is like information.
Yeah.
And what are you trying to get him? What are you trying to get out of him, or what are you trying to get him to do?
I want to understand. Um. It. I want to kind of frame it in a sense of. We understand that the times are difficult. We understand that with the darkness coming, that we would want to tighten the borders. However, we may have information on how to communicate or how to disrupt communication if we're able to do the planting.
He says if you wish to be guided, if you wish to plant the seeds as you've mentioned, you must first promise to speak with Chief Ginganan, who is the chief of your clan.
Yes, I have no other choice but to agree.
Very well. And he kind of whistles to the group of Fearbolg archers that have sort of half surrounded you guys in the forest.
Right.
And they take up escorting your party. And you head north towards the Hollow Earth. And let me okay, so this is going to be a perilous journey. So the way that journeying long distances works, we didn't roll for this before because we already rolled in the previous session, but when you travel through hostile territory, you're going to choose one member of the party to act as a trailblazer, one to scout, and one to be a quartermaster. And all 3 of these are wisdom checks. So decide who's going to be your scout.
Scout.
Okay. Who's going to be the trailblazer? Who's going to be the quartermaster?
What does the trailblazer do?
So the trailblazer, you're figuring out the path, or you're figuring out the best way to go because they kind of know the way. So they're, I'll say you get +1 from their aid because they're not following the migration path because they're moving you guys ahead of the normal schedule of the migration. But so you're gonna help them navigate basically.
Good, because I can't read a map.
Okay, so who wants to blaze the trail?
How do I roll this?
So you're rolling defy danger wisdom.
Oh, defy danger. Sorry.
Okay, Mog, are you going to be the trailblazer?
Yeah, if that's okay with everyone, I'll try trailblazer.
Okay. So Veron's a scout, Mog, you trailblaze. So you're rolling defy danger wisdom as well, Mog. And who's going to be the quartermaster? Because Drom's not here for this session.
Sure, I'll be the quartermaster. What do I roll?
Wisdom. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a 4-day journey. So Jack used the normal number of rations. I'm writing that in the chat so I can figure it out later. Okay.
Ooh, nice roll.
All right. So Mug, you blaze a trail and let's see. You get a 13. So yeah, you figure out something actually that the Fearbog haven't figured out about the way to Hollow Earth, which is like this grand underground sort of sacred druid temple. What do you figure out about this route?
Let me think. I guess there are. Actually, I'm not sure. Any suggestions?
Set it on fire and run away.
I would say something along the lines of while you were reading one of the books that your parents had found for you, this was explained in great detail.
Actually, yeah. So my parents had explained, that this was probably they probably described the place they were wanting to take us. Somehow, they knew, and this seems really like similar or kind of describe the way this path is.
So your parents knew the Earth Druids. That's super interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you know that there's like a secret route that goes through a waterfall that cuts time off of your trail. Let's see. Trailblazer reduce the amount of time it takes to reach GM will say I'm gonna say it reduces your trip from 4 days to 2 days, because you know exactly where to go. And you have a shortcut that the Fearbog aren't normally aware of, that they wouldn't travel with a party that's sort of landbound like you guys are in your default state. So you cut through.
Good one, Jack.
Yeah, later, guys.
Oh, later, Jack.
Yep.
See ya, Jack.
Okay. I am gonna. Okay. I'm gonna. So you, Veranza, you're scouting ahead. So you're kind of running with, the other, Earth druid. Well, he's not a druid in the same way that you are. Like, he doesn't shape change, but he's an Earth shaman, I guess you could say. You're traveling with the other shaman. You guys are keeping a lookout, and Teostra reacts with something to hostility as you guys are approaching the entrance to Hollow Earth. As you guys get to this waterfall, Teostra is like reacting to something waiting, and you carefully. What are you gonna do to like scout it out? Because you know that there's like the Earth Spirit can tell that there's something there, like there's an ambush or an attacker waiting for you guys.
I am going to let me do this real quick because this is.
I'm not going to make you roll for this. I just want to get a general view of what your vantage point is.
Shapeshift into a probably like a fox or a snake or something that is a part of that area, and scout out that way.
Okay, yeah. So you wild shape into a snake, I'm going to say, and you climb up the face of the falls, or like a tree by the face of the falls, and you kind of look over the rocky face, up that the water's pouring down over, and you see that there is a group of Firbolg lined up along the ridge, like hiding flat on the ground, just down out of sight of the folks on the ground down below. They have obviously seen your party, and they're ready with bows, lying in wait. What do you do?
And this is a completely different clan
Yes,
than the one.
this is
What?
another clan. Yep.
Okay, so
You can spout lore if you want to identify the clan.
yeah.
Okay. They are. You can tell by their dark brown raiments and the sort of vines that they have, like almost growing entwined with their clothing, that they are of Rudraga, the root tongued. He is he is the prophet of the Firbolg.
They would, so I guess like because of the background and how I know of the Firbolg because I'm a druid, right? Is
So I will say this is unheard of. You've never heard of Firbolg fighting other Firbolg.
right. And I will, so immediately I'll go down to the guy that is giving me, like, is bringing me to my clan, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, why are there other Firbolg trying to attack us?
He says, where? How many?
I basically go everything that I saw.
He says, they're traitors to King Yochade who've rebelled against the rule of Tara. And he gestures to his other Firbolg archers, and he says, circle around. We'll try to come up that ridge, and he points over at the left, and get a better angle.
Okay, so
He says, be prepared for a fight. He says to you, Veranza, be prepared for a fight.
Okay, and I basically, I don't. Oh God, if I tell Jack, he's gonna. Well, Jack's not here. Oh, that makes me happy. I'm gonna tell the group that we have to go around, and nobody can give me any flack about it.
Okay. Okay, so somebody give me some kind of check to sneak up on these guys, essentially.
Who has good decks?
I only have 13.
12 even worse.
And mine is, 14. So I guess it would be Defy Danger decks.
Yeah, Defy Danger decks.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay. So you guys slowly creep up the hillside, you slithering ahead in your snake form, scouting everything out. You're certain that the Firbolg haven't spotted you. But just as your clansman is about to give the word to attack, there is a crow that bursts from the trees overhead and shrieks out, and all the Firbolg suddenly turn in your direction and draw their bows, and they start firing at the other group. So they're turning the ambush back on you. They had this supernatural guardian basically watching to see which way you came, and so arrows start raining down towards the group of you. What do you guys do?
Screaming and running around in a circle.
Why am I not surprised?
Mog's going to throw his axe at, targeting whoever's, I guess, the lead.
Okay, so that would be a volley. Go ahead and roll it. Do you have multiple axes or just the one?
I've only got the one axe.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do your damage. Oh man. Oh, so you.
How did I get a +1 for that? Because it's a D10 and I got 11.
This is equipped weapon, so it's probably a bonus from the axe.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you hurl your huge ogre-sized axe at one of these archers, and you like split him in half. And he falls to the ground, gurgling. The Fearbolg on your side, the Hollow Earth clansmen are returning fire. Arrows are flying both ways. Varanza, a Fadelium charges with you guys, and I think Jack would charge too. So Jack and Fadelium are going to charge in. Varanza and Ichabod, what are you guys doing?
I am. Let me shapeshift. Well,
I'm still losing my mind.
So I shapeshift. Nice. I am going to turn into an armored animal, so almost like a large armadillo,
Okay.
so that I can block the arrows coming down.
Okay, that sounds like a defend.
Yep.
All right, go for it.
And let me grab that again. Defend. Perfect.
Okay, you see the other Teostra, the real Teostra, if you'll pardon my saying so, ripping up out of the cliff face underneath the archers of the other clan. That sends two of them flying off over the edge. And then one of the trees at the top of the cliff near the falls leans over and grabs hold of Teostra and starts wrestling with it.
Good luck.
Yeah. Okay, so you hold one. What are you doing for your allies there?
So as long as you stand in defense when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend hold 1 for 1 to choose the option. Half the attack's effect or damage. I don't like that's not too bad. It's like if I do the hold, I can deal damage to the attacker equal to my level, and I'm level 10.
Okay, yeah. So you swat aside a bunch of arrows, and you like bowl into the center of the Prophet's clan, and you slay two of them. How exactly do you kill them?
As the armadillo, like I literally to protect and like attack at the same time, I become the huge ball and I just roll them over.
Okay, yeah. So you go rolling through the center of them, and Ichabod, one of the Fearbolg spots you through a sort of deer trail almost through the trees, and he takes a beat on you with his bow. What do you do?
Dive behind the nearest source of cover.
Okay, that sounds like a Divide your Dex.
Oh, hello? Welcome back, sir. What now?
Oh, okay.
Failed miserably.
Let's do some damage here.
Oh, there's your rolls.
Okay, you take 5 damage minus your armor. So Fearbolg are pretty good shots. as an arrow pierces through. Where does it hit you? Where does the arrow get you?
For me?
No, it's Ichabod.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make it hilarious and stay right in my ass.
Okay, you get shot in the ass. Yeah, absolutely. So you're nursing your terrible wound, and Nag, you're charging in and going to pick up your axe, I presume, and like rushing into the fray generally. Jack rushes in beside you. Fadelium rushes in beside you. You see an arrow. Actually, two arrows. You see strike Fadelium's shield. Both of them go through the shield. One of them penetrates his arm, and he howls in a combination of pain and like battle cry as he starts hacking at one of the Firbolg. Jack draws Balmung, which is the enchanted lightning sword, and he starts to shout, "Who the hell do you guys think?" And then there's like a moment where he pauses and he's like, "What do you mean no?" And then he seems to like struggle and like stumble for a second, and then he holds the sword over his head in both hands, and there's a clap of thunder as lightning shoots down from the sky and blinds and deafens everyone. And we will leave it off there for tonight's session. Before we do that, before we wrap up, we're going to do the end of the session move. When you reach the end of the session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved. Have you resolved any of their bonds this session? Guys?
I don't consider anything a notable monster.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, also check your alignment on your sheet, and did you fulfill the thing that it says you should do for your alignment?
Mine is to help someone or something grow. No.
Defeat a worthy opponent. I don't think that was a worthy opponent.
With a wolf drake's not worthy? Fair enough.
Mine's chaotic. Issue a convention of the civilized world, so I don't think I've done that yet.
I mean, you bit an animal in a fight.
Oh yeah, well I guess there is that. I tasted it. I guess there is that. So maybe yeah. I guess 1 XP for that.
There you go. All right. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
The communication devicey thing.
Okay. So everybody mark
I learned the how to open it.
Nice. Okay. So everybody mark an experience point for that. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
The drakey things.
Okay, everybody mark an experience point for that. And did we loot a memorable treasure?
The eggies.
Are
Okay.
those a notable treasure, though?
Are they? That's up to you guys. You consider them memorable?
400 gold.
They seem pretty hard to come by.
Yeah. I mean, knowing Jack, he would still make them into a scrambled egg omelet, but
All right, so we're gonna leave it off there for tonight. We got some rations and logistics and other things to figure out next time. There will be no game this coming week because I'll be at convention. But I
I'll
expect
be
to
on
have
the middle of an ocean.
nice. Is it a cruise?
Yeah, but we finally get to go on our cruise.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
I get to deal with small children and people I don't like.
Oh no.
good luck.
It's a holiday next week.
Yeah, 4th of July.
All right, so the week after next, we should have game as normal. Anyway, thanks for playing, guys. Good game.
Thank
and
you.
Paragon, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
Hey guys. All right, we're gonna wrap up the stream there. I want to say thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to follow if you're watching on Twitch, or subscribe. It's free if you're watching on YouTube. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next time. Take care, folks.